Hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being awful and 10 being amazing, where would you rate your farm life satisfaction and meaning? Okay, you got that number in your mind? Would you like to raise that number? Maybe just a notch or two? If so, you will want to stick around for today's Coffee Clutch with Kay, because that's what we're talking about. We're going to talk about farm life meaning and satisfaction. First of all, you may be wondering why I put farm life meaning and satisfaction together. And the answer to that is because satisfaction actually is inextricably linked with our sense of meaning and purpose. We cannot have one without the other. Because sometimes people will tell us like, oh, more money provides more satisfaction. More fame provides more satisfaction. More X provides more satisfaction. And the studies show that that is not the case. Money, interestingly enough, for those of us in agriculture who are often struggling financially, money after you're meeting your basic needs, having more of it, does not equate to greater happiness or life satisfaction. And perhaps you've seen that play out in your own life, where you can see people who really don't have a lot of financial stability and yet are super, super content and happy with their lives. Yeah, they might want a little bit more money, but it's not enough to make them sad, depressed, any of that stuff. It's because meaning and purpose create satisfaction. So if your number that you talked about is dancing around a 5 or 6 or below, chances are there is something in your life that means a whole lot to you that you're not working to accomplish. So let's keep moving on. This sense of meaning and purpose that we're talking about is actually, it has to be very self-validated. Now, I'm not going to say self-determined or self-created, because a lot of us have a sense of meaning and purpose that starts outside of ourselves, but it is a meaning or a purpose that we have adopted, and we say, yes, I believe in this. Your faith could be that. Your belief in a certain agricultural practice could be that. How you show up in the world, being honest, being trustworthy, those could be some of those meaningful things for you. Now you may be sitting here and saying, well, let's see, I had a number of a 5, 6, 4, 3, hopefully not too low. But if you did, you definitely want to be listening. And you're saying, but I'm not quite sure what my meaning or purpose is. Well, you're not alone. Lots and lots of people spend all day, every day, wondering what the meaning and purpose behind their lives are. And I don't want you to be one of those. So we're going to take a few minutes right now and get you started thinking about that. So if you have a sheet of paper in front of you, it would be great. I have, scrap paper. I have a pen. We're going to draw a circle in the center of our paper, and we are going to write the words farm life legacy. Farm life legacy. And I want you to take a deep breath for a minute. Close your eyes. And imagine you're on the show This Is Your Life. And they're calling up all of these people to talk about all of the amazing things that you've done throughout your life and all of the things they really appreciated about you. What is it that you want these people to be saying? What do you want to hear? Do you want to hear, wow, you really did a great job building soil health. You were a really good parent. What is it that you want to have people say? I am going to give you a minute to just write in quiet, and I will write with you. So as you're doing this, you're just drawing a little line out from each of these, and you're writing a circle around the different topics. And if they branch off, like I have improved farmers' lives is one of my things. How would I want to do that? You know, I can branch that out. So go ahead and branch out if you need to. We could spend probably sorry, probably several more minutes on this, but we're not going to because we have a kind of short time frame. So take a look at some of these ideas that you put down. You know, for me, I wanted to improve farmers' life by, you know, improving their relationships, improving their sense of self and their self-care. Let's see, I want to be equitable to all of the farmers. Like, I don't want to just work with farmers who have lots of money or farmers who are in a certain area. Like, I want to be able to support farmers everywhere. I want to model Jesus. I want to be kind and compassionate to people in all of my interactions. So those are some of my farm life legacy that I want to pass on. And I accomplish those to lesser or greater degrees depending on the day. So hold on to those a little bit. Those are some of your core values. You may want to go and finish this and spend a little bit more time with this later, because if you can have some focused, uninterrupted time, you'll be able to get deeper results from this. But it's a coffee clutch, so we're going to just give you the principles right now. So now that you have kind of a sense of what your values are, the things that really mean the most to you, I want us to recognize that satisfaction comes from actively pursuing the accomplishment of those values and those goals in our lives. So if we have these goals and these values, which we all have them, okay, even if you don't know what they are yet, if this exercise hasn't revealed anything to you yet, you have them. They are something that matter inside of you. And you can get a sense of whether or not you're meeting those by the degree of happiness that you're having. They have to be things that matter to you, and you have to be working to actually accomplish them. If there's somebody else's goals that you're trying to accomplish, somebody else's values that you're living under, that's going to chafe. You are going to find yourself perpetually frustrated. You could get very angry. You could get depressed. You could resist going to work. There could be things that people ask you to do that you just automatically flare up and are like, I just don't want to do that. And you might not know why. And it's a good chance that it's because what you're being asked to do is either in direct violation of your values or is maybe just not meeting your values. So it might not be something you don't agree with, but it might not be the most important thing to you. So I'd like you to take a look at this list now and say, what have I done in the last week that meets some of these values? So we'll go to mine. Like, what have I done in the last week to help improve farmers' lives and relationships? Well, I'm doing it now. You know, I run the podcast. I sent out a newsletter with what I believe are very useful, helpful tips. Okay, so that I'm doing that. This is my work. Great. And so look at this list that you have, that you started in this clustering activity. Are you actively working towards these goals, or are you just kind of hoping that they'll somehow materialize? Okay, well, this leads us to our last point for today, and that's the good old failing to plan is planning to fail. So if we approach our life values and goals with the laissez-faire, oh, que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. If I want it to happen, it will just happen. Yeah, it ain't gonna happen, boys and girls. We have to plan. You would no sooner put your plants in the ground in some haphazard way, or have a milking parlor that didn't have a complete flow structure that worked for you and your livestock. You would never do that. So let's not do it for ourselves, because if you do that, you're going to end up with a bunch of internal cows that are kicking at each other and stepping on each other's teats and doing ridiculous stuff, and you're going to have a whole bunch of internal plants that are either starving, or they're planted in the wrong soil, or you put like tomatoes on eggplant soil, and like all these kinds of things that you just don't want to be doing. So what is a plan that we can make? So I'd like you to take a look, and if you have several of these values that you wrote down. You can pick 2 or 3. If you only have one, pick one. And look at that and ask yourself, what can I do over the next week to actively try to accomplish that goal? Maybe you want to build your soil health. It's been really important to you. You're not quite sure how to go about it. You've got a lot of constraints. Okay, one step you can take. Can you watch a YouTube video on building soil health? Can you call your extension agent and ask them for a resource? Can you read a cover crops book about different cover crops that might help to deal with some of your soil issues? Do you do a soil assessment and say, what is my soil health? Any one of those things is perfect. That gets you a step closer to your goal. It doesn't have to be a bunch of steps, one step, one action every week towards meeting that value, and you're going to find that your sense of purpose and your sense of satisfaction increase. So here's my challenge to you. Take some time and really live with the question of, what values do I have that I want to be known for, that I want people to look at me and see alive in my life? And then ask yourself, what am I doing to make that happen? And if you're not doing something, what is the plan I can make today, one thing, just one thing, to accomplish those goals? Do that for a few weeks, and then come back and ask yourself the same question. On a scale of 1 to 10, where is your farm life satisfaction? Is it down by awful in the 1s or up at amazing in the 10s? Did it move up a notch? I would love to hear it. If you've got some questions, you're looking for a little bit more support, drop a message down below, jump on my website, come and give me a call. Let's talk about it. I love helping farmers figure out what it is that they really care about and how they can make very small, practical steps to turn that into reality. It's your time to grow.